So what's it about a gas cylinder that leads people to believe it has a political impact? Well, let's take a look at the LPG track record, NDA government versus UPA government. Now, in the NDA government, a subsidized gas cylinder, 414 per cylinder. This is the average of NDA 1. Non-subsidized, 928 per cylinder. By the time NDA 2 came, as against the UPA at 241.6. Non-subsidized cylinder under NDA 2, 903 per cylinder. Huge jump there. Non-subsidized went on an average to 1103 per cylinder. NDA 2, that's the last 5 years or 4.5 years now. Under UPA 2, subsidized was 414 per cylinder. Non-subsidized was 1241 per cylinder. So it would seem at the moment that purely in terms of because of the high subsidy given during the UPA years, the UPA's track record on keeping prices of gas cylinders was appreciably lower. But let's raise the questions. Is this a Rakhi gift by the Modi government, as the Prime Minister claims, or simply an election sop? We'll head into assembly election November, December. Has the Modi government done enough to rein in LPG prices over the years? UPA or NDA? Who has the better track record of keeping gas prices in check? I'm joined for my face-off tonight by the BJP's tough spokesperson, Sanju Verma, BJP spokesperson. Salman Soz is the Congress's person now looking very closely at economic affairs. Let's come to you, Mr. Soz, first, because it appears that the Modi government, by announcing this, has done what you've been asking for, and yet you're not willing to give them credit. The fact is that you now will have LPG reduced by 200 rupees in all markets across the country, and when you are under the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, a further 200 rupee drop. So the government is saying the opposition wanted us to bring down LPG prices. We've done it. Why is the opposition still complaining?
No, we're very happy for the people of India that finally, Prime Minister Modi has seen the light of day. He has realized that his complaints about Revdi culture are actually not well founded. The fact of the matter is that the Prime Minister has basically realized that the India Alliance has had two very successful meetings. A third one is coming on August 31st. Elections to 5 states are coming. They're not doing that well. I don't think they're even going to win any state during these elections. So they're going to be desperate and do whatever it takes. And this is what they've done.
No, so are you saying this is an act of desperation? Are you saying it's an act of desperation because the India Alliance is coming together? I mean, the Prime Minister is saying this is part of a process and he's given it as a Rakhi gift.
Listen, Raj. This is a sign of desperation because we know what's happening to this government. If you think about it, BJP has lost Himachal Pradesh. They've been demolished in Karnataka. The next 5 states that are coming up, they're in right now. As things stand, they're not sure of winning even one state, even Rajasthan, they're not sure of winning, right? You know it, you're a political analyst, you know all this very well. So they're desperate. Now, let me ask you this. If this is a gift, and by the way, I think we want to get away from this sexist message that this is for women, this is for families, this is not just for women. But if this is a gift, where was Prime Minister Modi, was BJP punishing the people of India for all this time when gas prices were kept so high, when gas prices were at 1,100 rupees? Is that what you're saying? Is that what everybody is saying, that they were keeping these prices high? Now, let me ask one very simple question. Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, who is the Minister for Petroleum, he said that India's gas prices, LPG prices, they track the Saudi Aramco import prices. Now, Saudi Aramco cut their prices by 20% in June. Now, at the end of August, 2 days before India Alliance's very important meeting, the Prime Minister comes up with this. Why did they not reduce prices in June? And by the way, have we forgotten that the Ashok Gehlot government in Rajasthan announced gas prices of 500 rupees for poor families in December.
Salman Soz, I've given you a lot of time. You made the point. You're questioning. Just a minute, sir.
A desperate party.
No, you must allow
straws.
You must allow Sanju Verma now to respond. Sanju Verma is getting very, very agitated. Her temperature is rising as you're raising these points. But Sanju Verma, let's respond to 2 points, and we can do them one by one. Number one, the timing. The fact is that you have, according to the opposition, this is necessitated by the India Alliance meeting in 2 days, by the fact that there are elections in 4 months. You could have easily slashed these prices earlier if you really wanted to. You suddenly seem concerned about the consumer because Raksha Bandhan is coming. You could have slashed it 2 months earlier is argument number one. Number two, even after slashing it, according to the opposition, it's still lower than what it was when the UPA was in government, when the subsidized cylinder was just about 400 rupees. I want you to respond to both one by one.
Thank you, Rajdeep. No, Sanju Verma was not getting agitated, nor was my temperature rising. Yes, I was getting a bit uppity because, I think Salman Soz sort of overstayed his welcome in terms of giving that long bhashan to the BJP. First and foremost, to Salman Soz's pithy comment that the BJP is going to lose all the state elections that are scheduled for this year. I will just remind Mr. Soz of one of my favorite quotes from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Lok Sabha speech on the floor of the House a couple of months back. When taking a dig at the opposition, he said, and very rightfully so, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, लेकिन कमाल तो ये है कि तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है. कमाल तो ये है तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है. So you can stay in your ivory tower and keep hallucinating. That's besides the point. Now coming to Rajdeep Sardesai's very pointed questions. I have this to say. Whenever the BJP does something, it's a classic case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Abhi LPG non-subsidized prices have been reduced by 200 rupees for the subsidized category by a hefty 400 rupees. So the entire opposition is saying this is a jumla, this is a Raksha Bandhan, tool to gratify some of the sections of the society. So I will just say this, Rajdeep. The moot point is this. If you look at the entire track record of the last 9 or 9.5 years of the Modi government, the basic premise of his economic policy has been welfarism and structural reforms and not incrementalism. Point number one. Point number two, very quickly, you gave out a lot of data for your audience, but I have also culled out this data from authentic sources, and your audience needs to know. Let's compare apples with apples. Let's not have a comparison of non-subsidized cylinder with subsidized ones, which is what a lot of people on Twitter are doing. No, I've not done that.
I've not done that.
You have not done that. You have not done that. I'm just saying this for the benefit of the likes of Supriya Sule, who put out a comment and I've responded to her on social media. She obviously made a wrong comparison, comparing apples with watermelons. Now, under the Congress-led UPA 2, these were the prices of non-subsidized cylinder, because subsidized cylinders, in any case, the poor and the marginalized have been getting the relevant benefits. The non-subsidized, which is what hurts the middle class, and rightfully so, where are we compared to the Congress-led UPA 2? Congress-led UPA 2, and very categorically, I will just say this. The prices starting from 2009, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Look at these prices. The prices were 710 rupees, then it became 877, then 922, then 1021, and then 1241. This was the price for the last 5 years of the Congress-led UPA 2 in the non-subsidized cylinder category. Now, the last 5 years of the Modi government, the prices have been 546, 570, 694, 950, 1054. And if you look at the average, the Congress UPA 2s, I'm not taking 1103 because I've taken for each category. I've taken the blended average price of Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata. Okay? And I've done that for everyone, for the UPA and the BJP. So if you look at the Congress-led UPA 2, the average non-subsidized cylinder, the average price in the last 5 years of the Congress-led UPA 2 stood at 954 rupees 20 paise. Now, the average non-subsidized cylinder price in the last 5 years of the Modi government, that is Modi 2.0, stood at 762 rupees 80 paise. Okay? So if you do a like-to-like comparison, the BJP has fared well and exceedingly well in terms of the non-subsidized gas cylinder prices under the last 5 years of the Modi government in Modi 2.2 being far lower than the Congress UPA 2. Point number 3. And now let me finish. Then you can rebut me. Now most people said that, oh, Ujjwala scheme was a big disaster because you know what? Refills never used to happen. This is the report by India Today, which says that the refill rate of Ujjwala Yojana has been a hefty 88%. And guess what? The number of people who took refills rose overall, both subsidized and non-subsidized. The number of refills have risen from something like 16 crore in 2017 to 37 crore now as we speak, which is a phenomenal performance by any yardstick.
Okay, no, just a minute, Salman.
And the last point, you gave him a lengthy intervention. Salman Soz, when you say that the BJP is not going to do well, and I will just quickly end by bringing Rajasthan into the discussion since you mentioned Rajasthan. I hope you're aware that the latest inflation numbers which were declared, Rajasthan, Rajasthan, the inflation has been the highest at 9.5% and unemployment at 26.35%.
Okay, I will stop you now. I will stop you. No, ma'am. No, 1 minute. I want to give our viewers again the numbers. NDA versus UPA LPG track record, since you mentioned subsidized. We must give what our research team has put together. Subsidized NDA 2 averages 903 per cylinder, which in the UPA 2 years, and we are talking now of UPA 2, at that time it was 1241 per cylinder. In NDA 2 it's 903 per cylinder. The fact also is though, which you are not willing to accept, Sanju Verma, is that prices have been tapering globally since May last year, and you have not passed the benefit out onto the consumer. You have suddenly woken up 4 months before an election to realize that the consumer is hurting. There must be an acceptance of that.
Rajdeep, now can I come in because Sanju?
No, before you answer that, let Salman Soz have a rebuttal and then you can answer.
Okay.
Look,
well and good.
It's Rajdeep, for both you as well as for Sanju and anybody watching. You cannot just compare these prices just like that. You have to also think about the global context for crude oil. Crude oil prices during the Manmohan Singh government were extremely high, and they've been extremely low for this government. What they've done is they have actually, controlled prices again. They have taken lakhs and crores in fuel taxes. They've not passed on the benefit of lower crude oil prices onto consumers. They have squeezed the economy. They've contracted the economy. Why do you think India's economy is in such a poor shape? The reason it is in such a disastrous condition with high unemployment, low labor force participation, the reason is this government's policies are twofold. On the one hand, they're contracting household incomes. Household savings are down. On the other side, what they've done is that they've basically handed over the economy to a few big companies. And that's how they're running this show. Now, just before the election, they're coming with a 200 rupee price cut for the non-subsidized sector and for the poor families as well. But this is an election gimmick. If election, no, Sanju, you may not, because you spoke a lot. Now let me speak.
I'm asking Rajdeep, you are not the
please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. Sanju, you have a bad habit of interrupting. Please don't interrupt. If the BJP were somehow to come back to power, I'm pretty sure they'd raise the prices again. Maybe to 1,200, maybe to 1,400, maybe to 1,500, who knows? That is their track record. Their track record is that when elections are not happening, they will make the life of people difficult. And when elections come, they will start doing things and hope that people will forget all the bad times. People in India must remember They've been
Okay,
paying
can I-
100 rupee petrol,
May I please
100
now,
rupee
Rajdeep?
petrol per liter for a long, long time.
Okay,
They've been paying
Salman,
1100
Salman, for
rupees
just
for
a
their
minute.
gas cylinders for
I
a long, long
have
time.
specific questions
Do
to
they
both
think
of you.
that
Just
we
a
are
minute,
fooled?
ma'am.
Do they think that we are
Salman,
fooled?
so
We're
just
not
a minute.
fooled.
You
The
made
fact
the
that we
point.
cannot be fooled.
I am
He's
going to
made
ask
allegations,
specific
Rajdeep,
questions
I
to
need
both
to-
of you. Sanju Verma, 1 minute. You know, let me anchor the show at my pace. I'm an old man. It takes me time to get my thoughts together, but I have a specific question to both of you. To you, Sanju Verma, the question you did not answer. The fact is that for the past 7 months, crude prices have been in the range of $60 to $80. They were a peak of $118 per barrel in May last year. At no stage in this period did you pass on the benefit to the consumer. Salman Soz has a point there that you have chosen to do this now because elections are coming up in 3 to 4 months. The major election leading into 2024. Let's be honest, the timing is suspicious.
Okay.
You should have either
Come on.
you should have either gone by oil price deregulation, which you were committed to, and ensured benefits are passed on to consumer. Answer that simple question. Na idhar ki baat kar, na udhar ki. Answer my question.
अभी बिना इधर की बात किए और उधर की, as राजदीप famously says, ये पब्लिक है, ये सब जानती है. ये पब्लिक बार-बार नरेंद्र मोदी को सत्ता में क्यों लाती है? That too with the thumping majority. That is something that the Congress needs to introspect on.
No, but you're not giving me an
Elections are
answer to
not-
my question.
I'm coming. Why do you get so agitated?
Because
Why
you're
is
not
your
answering my
temperature
question.
rising? And I'm not somebody who believes in ageism. I think you're doing a great job as
Okay.
a journalist, though we are always at the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Ma'am.
Because that is who you are.
Answer.
Okay, now let me finish. Rajdeep, because I will not be interrupted. I think I
Answer my
extended my
question.
courtesy to.
Answer my question. Why
I'm
did
answering,
it take?
don't get agitated.
Why did it take August 29 for you to wake up to something you could have done 6 months ago?
No, I will answer your question, but I have to also, as a BJP national spokesperson, you will understand this. I cannot allow Salman Soz's allegations to go unchecked.
No, you
So
answer
please
my
allow
question.
me-
You
No,
answer
please
it
allow me
later.
30
Answer my
seconds.
question. I have limited time.
Rajdeep, please don't behave like a juvenile kid. Let me finish. Just give me some time. Otherwise, this tutu meme, your audience will not benefit. Please.
Okay.
Salman Soz said that, there is record unemployment. The fact that Rajasthan stands at 26.35 in terms of unemployment rate, that is not the topic of discussion. I want to speak on oil prices. And I'm sure Salman Soz knows this, but your audience needs to know. Oil prices domestically in India are determined largely by two things. One, of course, global crude oil prices, and the second, the dollar index. And why is the dollar index important? Because more than 85% of India's crude needs are satisfied through imports because we don't produce crude to satisfy our burgeoning demand. So while global crude oil prices fell during Narendra Modi's regime, what also happened was that the dollar index, called the DYX, that increased from a level of 76 under the Congress-led UPA to 115, which means that the dollar index rose by 51%. And because of this 51% rise in the dollar index, countries that import crude, that suffered even though global prices of crude crashed. That is something that your audience needs to know, because only crude oil prices globally falling do not determine domestic prices. The dollar index strengthened by 51%.
So that's your explanation. That's your explanation for not doing it in April, May.
That is unfair. Let me finish.
No. Why did you not do it earlier? You're not answering my question.
I'm answering your question now. I'm answering. What is wrong with you?
Please do it.
I know that you won an EMBA award, but I didn't realize that would go to your head. Come on, you're a seasoned journalist. Come on.
Answer my question.
थोड़ा रुक जाइए भाई साहब, थोड़ा रुक जाइए. बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता से इतनी भी क्या नाराजगी आपको?
You're not answering my question.
My simple response is this. When was the Jan Dhan Yojana launched? It was launched in 2014. When did we bring in GST? That came in 2017. The Jan Aushadhi Yojana was launched in 2008. But when has it actually become a force to reckon with more than 9,400 Jan Aushadhi Kendras under the Narendra Modi government? When did we launch this Swachh Bharat Yojana? That also happened in 2014. The limited point I'm making it, beat Jan Dhan Yojana, the world's largest financial inclusion scheme, beat Swachh Bharat Yojana, the world's largest sanitation scheme, beat Ayushman Bharat, the world's largest health insurance scheme, beat Mudra Yojana, the world's largest
I asked you oil prices.
scheme. All these were launched well before August 29, 2023. तब क्या राजवीर सरदेसाई ने नरेंद्र मोदी या संजू वर्मा को शाबाशी देकर कहा that you launched these schemes 6 or 7 or 8 years
I've got your
advance.
point. I've got your point. Now fader down. Salman shows the direct question to you. Your government in Rajasthan brings down prices to 500. Your government, which is elected in Karnataka, brings it to 500. Now in Rajasthan, your government has been there for 4.5 years. You've also brought it just before an election. This is the problem. None of you want to respect the fact that prices should be deregulated and should be worked according to global prices, which you are all committed to. What you do is you use it with high duties to make money at the cost of us middle class consumers so that you can fund your various programs. That's the reality.
Rajdeep, let me just respond to that very simply. And people can judge, people who are watching this television show can judge. The Ashok Gehlot government announced the 500 rupee cylinder in December of 2022. Elections are going to be held in November of 2023. So if you think that is close to the election versus Prime Minister Modi and the BJP government now, just before the India Alliance's third very important meeting on August 31st, and then elections to 5 states happening in say 2 months' time, you tell me who's really trying to do this for the elections. Now, one other thing I want to tell you and to Sanju and to our viewers. When we talk about crude oil prices, as Sanju was talking, for the BJP government, crude oil prices climbed over $100 for about 2 to 3 months in 2022. For the UPA government, crude oil prices hovered around or above 100 from 2011 to 2014, not counting the time of extremely high prices beyond 100 in 2008. So there is no comparison between the kinds of prices.
I need to answer that.
Prices.
No, I don't want. I have run out of time. I asked both of you pointed questions.
One final point. Rajdeep.
No, you've given
one final point.
Yes.
Sanju,
No, bring your voice down. Sanju's voice down. Very quickly, 30 seconds.
I just want to say, Rajdeep, because you asked me a direct question about who was trying to gain from the elections. Now, are you saying that Ashok Gehlot ji, by announcing in December 2022, was trying to benefit from elections and Mr. Modi is not? When the elections are happening in 2 months' time? Come on, we have to have some sense of proportionality here. Final point is that the BJP is scared. BJP is scared. Prime Minister Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, they're scared that they may lose all 5 elections.
You made that point earlier. You made Salman shows. You're claiming it's out of fear, desperation. Sanju Verma has made her point. I've listened to both of you patiently. My blood pressure has gone up. I hope that oil prices, having stabilized across the world, will ensure that LPG prices also remain below a level.
Tax on petrol and diesel.
Okay.
Why did Ashok not reduce value-added tax on petrol and diesel all through 2021 and 22? Remember, Rajdeep, the Modi government reduced excise on petrol and diesel
Okay.
by 5
Sanju
rupees.
Verma, Salman shows equal time. Thank you both very much.